This is a video on dealing with multiple issues in a property in a very short time frame. So basically I had a property that was destroyed by a leak over a year ago. This became a very convoluted and tedious situation in which I had to try to get a claim that didn't work out. But I finally got this property renovated and put it on open rent and rented it out to tenants. As soon as the tenants moved in the next day, they started telling me of issues. Basically, the immersion heater had failed and I'd got a new immersion heater and this wasn't bringing temperature up to standard. When the boiler pressure was increased, the property became too hot. The tenants had to open windows. The taps weren't working properly. The shower and bathroom door were slightly unhinged. There were multiple issues at once that only really come apparent when tenants move in, and because it had been vacant for so long, the new heating setup, the new immersion heater had not been tested. The electrics had been done. There was a new fuse board, so there were not that many issues from that point of view. But the tenants had moved in on a Saturday, and by the Sunday I had to start dealing with this. So I think if this sort of thing was left to a management agent, they're not even open on the weekends. But because I have good established contacts, I just started WhatsApping people. So within one day I'd sent 3 people around. The cooker had become quite problematic and was not working. I had that replaced on a Sunday. Some doors were off the hinge. The freezer door would not open even though the freezer was new, and the window would not close. Another contractor dealt with these 3 issues. A gas engineer who I've just met had very kindly then decided to go out on a Sunday and look at the boiler issue. This was more of an involved issue that still hasn't been resolved. I've kept the tenant posted. He's happy with potential work that needs to be done on this, as it's a 2-bed maisonette. Apparently the boiler is not fit for purpose, even though the boiler seems to be working before, and the property had an immersion heater as well. The immersion heater was repaired, but the combination of that boiler and the immersion heater was not an ideal setup for the flat, so I was advised to just get rid of everything and replace it with a combi boiler, which I will now probably be doing. So the gas engineer will do this and replace the taps and deal with other minor issues. So this example goes to show that even though overall it's better to have your properties managed by an agency, firstly the agency would not have been able to deal with all this on a weekend, and because I have established contacts, I can do everything by phone, text or WhatsApp, sending videos and arranging appointments. You just get the permission from the tenant to forward their number to your contractors and they can arrange access. Even though it was a slightly involved day, it's still a very high time value for what you get back, meaning that if you're in a job you may have to send 10 or 20 emails a day and go to meetings and do all kinds of technical work. Whereas if you deal with these issues for property you may own, then you have far less work and potentially much higher return. So I'd just like to highlight the importance of having good contacts, having efficient methods of communication and dealing with tenant issues as and when they arrive. Not all issues were sorted on one day, but if you let issues linger and leave tenants to try to sort things out by themselves or fob them off, then this is not good for anyone. There are regulations that prevent this, plus you're just leaving problems to build up, which will make things worse for the tenant and yourself in the long run. So overall it's good to have a good power team, good set of contractors, maintain good relations with your tenants and action things as soon as possible. Thanks for listening. See you next time.